All right. Hello and welcome to the whatever numbered episode of the Gameacologist. I don't know what we're at, like 22 now. Today I'm John and I'm here with Matt and we have James with us.
Hello,
I
everybody.
Hello. And today, what are we talking about? James, what are we talking about?
well, since you put me on the spot, and these are all my talking points, clearly. Online gaming, past and present.
Yes, I was thinking we are all old enough to remember a time when online gaming wasn't common in the house or at all, really in the house. I mean, unless you had like a I think weren't people playing like Quake or Doom or things online way back in the day. I know I remember growing up, we played Doom on Windows 95 because dad had it. But the idea of hooking it up online and playing with other human beings.
Well, there was still those online gaming, kind of at the beginning of the internet, but LAN parties were the original thing. People would bring their console or their whole PCs and everything, and just hook it up and play four players or something of that nature, kind of like what Nintendo 64 did with everything being on the same console.
Yeah, it was good. So what was playing video games like before, the internet was available? And I think that's a very vague question because like it depends on what we mean like that, like before it was available for me might be different than before it was available for Matt. Because we might have gotten, I know I didn't play online video games until I got a PS3. So that was '07, which means I'm probably very late to that party.
Oh, absolutely. RuneScape was in what, early 2000s, way before that. That was probably one of the first ones that I jumped into.
I mean, technically, you could play chess online against other people. That's still online gaming.
That's fair.
Oh wait, I think I used to do Yahoo Pool. I
Oh
don't remember how
shit.
little, yeah. Yahoo Pool is the shit. Does that still exist?
Now,
Not,
I don't think it does. It might, but I don't think a lot of people use Yahoo Messenger. There's a lot of other pool games that people play, but I don't know if Yahoo Pool is still there. That one was, I used to do like ranked leaderboards and stuff like that. It was pretty nasty. It got very competitive the more that
It,
you got into it.
it was so simple that it was like it was perfect. They didn't try to reinvent the wheel.
yeah, I remember Yahoo Pool. Now that you bring it up,
But when it comes to playing video games in your house before the internet kind of merged with it, what were I know like for example, I we had it in 64 and I used to play Ocarina of Time a lot. And one thing like one day I was sitting there watching the credits for the I don't know how many times and I thought, you know what, I've beaten this game a lot. I'm gonna start counting now and see how many times I beat this game after already beating it an untold number of times. And in my life since then, I've made it to like 53. Since then, I've beaten the game like 53 times. So I've beaten the game more than 53 times. And I would do things like that. I would find something I really liked, latch onto it, and beat it over and over again. Just beat the piss out of it. That, Resident Evils, and well, not Metal Gear Solid because we weren't allowed to play rated M games because it would corrupt our minds.
Look at us now.
I corrupted it all on my own. But what was your own personal gaming cultures like before the internet took over or merged?
Well, I was just remembering one of the first multiplayer PC that I was playing LAN parties before. So whenever I was, a terrible little child and bouncing from school to school and everything, one of the schools that I was in had like 25 PCs, and it was all like the trouble kids, like whenever I was through juvie and all that kind of stuff.
I remember
Um,
that school.
one of the schools we were playing Counter-Strike, and it was just all of us after class. Everybody had a key. It was provided. I don't know why it was provided from the school, but everybody had Counter-Strike, and we were able to just like decompress after class. And we would play for like an hour and just killing people over and over again.
nice.
But you asked about before or slowly transitioning in. I think RuneScape was my first implement, and World of Warcraft was before that, but or sorry, Warcraft was before that. StarCraft was actually probably around that time period too, but I didn't get into it. I didn't like those board invasion games with the fog of war and everything, but then that slowly opened up to League of Legends and me enjoying that. So I might go back and try it, but I don't like building my armies. I think we jumped into internet as we came to California for the most part. So I think everything before that was just trying to get the friends to come over. We were playing Smash Brothers at other people's houses when we were on the East Coast and a couple other games for the multiplayer kind of aspect. There was a lot of single player games, a lot of things that we couldn't do with friends because we were always grounded and sneaking in and trying to play the game. So a lot of that was single player. Uh,
Mhm.
so, but whenever we finally were able to get out and try to do gaming and stuff, we wanted other people. We jumped into because we weren't interested in it at all, except for because of dad, but wrestling. Wrestling kind of brought us with the other friends because it was a multiplayer game that we could finally get an adapter and have up to four players on like the PS2 and stuff like that. And it was just anything we could do to try to have more people come over and play with us. And I think that's what grew for me. And I wanted always to be playing with somebody else because it to me the first person's kind of just fell off whenever I knew that I had options to be with somebody and laugh together rather than have it just myself, you know?
Yeah, Matt, do you have anything to?
Yeah, I was just thinking about back when I was a kid, I had a friend named Sammy, and he showed me all kinds of cool secrets about Mario that I never knew when you first played Mario, right? And his parents owned the Chinese restaurant that was like right down the street from my house. And I would always hang out with this kid. My brother and I would go over his house and we play all kinds of Super Nintendo games. And he was really good. Or maybe it was just the case he didn't go out and do much except for play video games. So I ended up learning a
Same.
lot from him and like all these different secrets about all these games I had. And like I had a few other friends like that, but Sammy is like the one kid that I hung out with the most. And like I went over to like other friends' house and stuff, and that's when like what console did GTA 3 come out on? PS2?
PS2. Yeah.
Yeah. So when the PS2 came out, like that's how I played GTA 3 and stuff. I had another friend named John back in Syracuse. Not you. Not you. And he's like, "Oh dude, check this game out. You can kill hookers." We're like, "What?"
I've pointed out before that I don't know about GTA 3 because I never beat that game, but in Grand Theft Auto 4, the picking up and murdering of prostitutes and getting your money back is in the game, but there is no tutorial for it. There is no
Mm-hmm.
mission for it. Nothing in the game tells you to do that. You sick fucks. Just do it all on your own,
Yeah.
and then they blame Rockstar.
Well, you learn that you can do anything you want in the game. That's what is the selling point of Grand Theft Auto.
Can you
Is
be
to,
nice? You can
you
do.
sure you can
All
be
right.
nice. You
I
can be
think
nice if you want, but why?
I think that before online gaming, I was so attached to really good single player experiences. I mean, we had some multiplayer stuff, but for me, like the selling point of, let me see, what's a good example? Um, the selling point of like the PS1 would be Resident Evil 2 over something like a Twisted Metal 2. Even though I love both of those games, but I play Resident Evil 2 infinitely more. And I think that's kind of why now I don't play as much online gaming. I'm more interested in like I don't know what's coming out multiplayer wise. I'm stoked for like Silent Hill F and Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Those are the kind of things that I'm excited for.
I think it's kind of my fault because you never had your player two because I was always grounded. So you were forced to get into these adventures that were singular, you know?
Yeah, and I enjoyed them.
Yeah, no, they're great games. But I mean, you learned to stick with them because that was your only option for the most part. Like because I was always grounded, that sometimes didn't let people come over and no friends over, so the two-player games sometimes didn't really exist. So
Such a shame.
I know.
Uh,
I was always
Gone home.
grounded too.
I was much more, but yes, yes, he was. It is a
uh,
competition. It is a competition.
who was grounded? Who fucked up more as a child?
Oh, right here.
Yeah, but there was a baseline. Like, if your grades weren't at a certain level, we weren't allowed to do anything. And
Yeah.
once our grades dropped below that point and we got grounded, they never got better.
Never.
It never worked. It never helped. It just kind of sank us into a depression. And it was like we're at the bottom of a big hole looking up, like, there's no way we're going to get back up there. So fuck it. Like,
Yeah, I understand that. I've been in that situation as a kid.
I don't think
One
it's a good
time,
way to. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt
uh,
you.
I was gonna say, like one time, I don't remember what I did, but
Yes, you fucking do. Look at you reminiscing on exactly what you did.
He just don't want to tell us.
actually, I don't remember. I think it had to do with my grades. It
How about
might
you
have,
look
but
into my eyes and say that and quit looking away? I'm sorry.
no, because you made it weird.
It's
Um,
a great podcast. You made it weird with Pete Holmes. Anyway,
but I was grounded for like a month, so I couldn't do shit except for read. That is the only thing I could do.
Ugh, awful.
a month. This guy, get a load of this guy. A
A
month.
month?
Try like 8 years.
I was 3 years straight once, uninterrupted. Dad was out on tours and I was still grounded.
Damn.
I
Okay.
didn't get to open the Japanese card pack that he bought for almost 2 years. The
Forgot about that
Pokemon,
one.
the Pokemon card pack. Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
We're gonna trauma dump for a
Oh,
second.
the Egyptian ones too.
Do you
Those were
remember
those.
when the year for Christmas when we got Game Boy Colors and they were brand new? And he opened them up, put batteries in them, turned them on, showed us that they work, and then took them away.
Yeah.
Like, why even buy them?
Dad, don't listen to this podcast. We're
Yeah.
okay with not having one subscriber.
Is
Like,
he okay? Is he aware of this?
I
Huh?
don't know.
Yeah, I never talked to him about it. But
Yeah.
anyway, this
I
is
didn't
getting weird.
realize this episode was going to turn into a therapy session.
Oh yeah, it's getting weird.
Well, I mean, that's all video games are. You're trying to decompress for the most part. I
Yeah,
mean,
True.
Peach. So,
if you're trying to get an expansion of the story or something, then that's different, but you're usually jumping into a different world. So,
That's very true. But before we went on this trauma-filled adventure, what were we talking about?
what gaming was like for us before
Grand Theft Auto hookers.
the internet
Right.
became
Okay.
mainstream?
And then you guys, okay. But I was gonna say, yeah, like me, who was kind of a decent kid and wasn't grounded for 3 years straight uninterrupted. Right. I
Only a
had
month. Only a month.
I was grounded several times throughout my childhood, but the longest stint was a month.
Yeah, those 3 days were the worst.
But I was gonna say I got to enjoy going to friends' houses and friends coming over, or just my brother and I playing video games. Like one of the things, like you could look at, like for competitive gaming, was couch Street Fighter. You sit there with your sibling or your friend and just beat the dog shit out of each other over and over again. Whether it's Street Fighter, Samurai Showdown, Mortal Kombat.
Killer Instinct, Clay Fighters,
Fuck yeah, Killer Instinct.
Celebrity Deathmatch game.
Yeah. Or
I'm playing that one.
LJN's WWF Raw. I don't want to hear shit. That's a classic. That's like one of the only games that LJN did that was good.
Jaws, The Punisher. They did a few good games. WWF Raw by LJN is good if you enjoy giant pieces of shit.
What was your guys' competitive gaming like before, hopping online and shit?
Well, we had an N64. Well, let me see. Started with an NES. I remember we had a Sega Genesis, but that was yours.
Light Crusader.
You
Sorry,
got
that's the only
that
game I remember.
for your birthday from a guy who I don't know if we're allowed to use the word. Um, he was a convicted PDF file who went to prison for that. That's where your
I
Sega Genesis came from. Yep.
didn't know any of this. I don't even remember the person.
Ask mom.
Tra trauma dump, I guess.
This is getting
It's
weird.
repressed. Yeah. But no, I honestly
um,
don't remember.
I'll tell you more after the because names and identities and things. I'll tell you more about it after we're done recording. Yeah, we had Super Nintendo. Not too much. There's a lot of competitive stuff. We had Mario Kart, things like that. N64 was really like I was surprised with the because recently I had a friend come over and we played nothing but N64 games on the Nintendo Switch collection. And I was surprised at how much of a fucking blast that was. We played Mario Party, we played Pokemon Stadium, we played Mario Tennis, played GoldenEye, we played just about just about every multiplayer thing they have on there. And the plan was not like, hey, let's come over, let's go to John's house and play N64 games. I think started playing like Pokemon Stadium and then it never stopped. We stayed on N64 for hours. It wasn't, excuse me. It wasn't intentional. And it reminded me like how much like because back then the PS1 was a more mature step forward for video games. You had more rated M games. You have your Metal Gear Solid and your Resident Evil and stuff that's not necessarily specifically geared towards family friendly or just children, which I think is good and makes a lot of sense as a selling point why a lot of people would kind of turn and go the Sony direction back in the late 90s. But for if you want to have the most fun with the most people from back then, the N64.
I'm gonna one up you with like the logic of distant gaming, like not on the same console. I was playing Pokemon, battling people on the Game Boy. So,
Ooh, so
I
fancy.
know that that involved multiple people sometimes, every once in a while.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but my brother and I, one thing that we did to make a single player game competitive, like Mario, for example, would see who could beat it the fastest. Did you guys ever do anything like that? Like how you warp hop to like the eighth level and you try to be as fast as you can, or you try to, or like when you went to the fucking arcade and you would see everybody's name and like their
I've
timestamp.
never been to a fucking arcade, especially as a child.
We
Damn.
literally we literally beat Carnival together in an arcade.
Yeah, that was
Don't
at the
lie to me,
that was
man.
at the Horton
I
that was
was
at the Horton Plaza
heartbroken
Mall.
for you.
I thought it was
Yeah.
Mission Valley, but either way, it was
No,
at
it
a
was up
San
top in
Diego
the
mall.
arcade on the top one, where Paulo was working. I don't think he was working that day, but Paulo worked up there.
We went to go see the Nightmare on Elm Street remake,
Yeah.
which that movie was one of the movies of all time. It
Does it
existed.
clarify? It
All I
doesn't
wanted to do was
clarify if
spend
it's
time with
good
my
or
brother,
bad.
and all he did was bitch about it.
They turned Freddy into a child molester. Look how they massacred my boy. Like,
Wasn't wasn't that hinted at in the original ones, like in like the fourth or fifth movie, when it goes to the flashback and it shows Robert Englund with actual skin and not all burned and fucked up?
that was in part six, and no, the idea was to make him one, but then something had happened less than 10 years before the first one came out, and they were like, maybe we shouldn't
Shouldn't
do
do that.
that
Okay.
angle. Yeah. But so competitive gaming before online. So there was the scores, high scores in games. I remember to bring them up again, Dad and I used to we would play Frogger. We never played it together. It's just I would get on his computer and beat his high score. and then he would beat mine, and it went back and forth.
Ooh, the Santa bowling.
That they ported that to something that exists on a mainline console. I want to say like DS or 3DS or something, but that was man, I don't know if you're aware of this, but it was a bowling game where you play as Santa Claus and the pins are elves and they'll like pull their pants down and show their
They'll moon
butts
you.
and
Yeah.
they'll moon you and be like,
Oh,
Elf baby, and they'll got her ball. It's drama, drama right here. I think mom was the high scorer all the time in that damn thing.
one game I played on the computer was You Don't Know Jack, the trivia game, if you guys remember that,
I remember the
Which is now
board
Jackbox Party.
game.
which is
Oh,
now
is
what?
Jackbox Party. So all those
Jackbox
games
Party.
are Jackbox Party games, and they're on like 13 or 15 or something right now.
Oh
They're
shit.
all like $17 games, or you could buy the big pack for like a whole bunch more, but less. But no, they have a whole bunch of them. There's still there's Fibbage, which is one of the popular ones. You'll write questions about the other people, and you could all play this on like your phone or tablet or log in on the computer. It takes it to a website, and then you do the code, and you're now in that lobby with the rest of the other people playing across the world. I've played it on stream too, but it's terrifying because sometimes people will put political or not nice things, and that's oh, you
I
don't want that other world.
Yeah.
I've played that
Um
I've played that before and you have to like write or draw your answer to a
Mhm.
question on your phone. I drew stick figures with big dicks as a response to everything. They were like, "What is
Can't have
the?"
that on stream.
They're like, "What's the capital of North Dakota?" And then they bring up my response, and it's just the stick figure, like with his dick bigger than
Hey,
his whole body.
if it was the capital of Taiwan, that would work.
Bangkok.
Or
It was Thailand.
is it, oh, it was Thailand. Yeah, sorry.
You
The
gotta
stream
draw a
is
little bomb
this is rude.
next to Dick in order to be called Bangkok.
Oh, he'd make it big enough.
It'd be bigger than the guy's whole body. Like the quality of life of that stick man was zero.
The quality of the girth, 100%. Super bad.
So I guess this next part is kind of a two-part question because there's what was earlier on online gaming like in general, but also what was early online gaming like for you guys as individuals because you are individuals.
Yeah, let's talk about the general sense of it.
Genital sense. Wait, are we changing topics or is the same? No.
Is that like horse sense?
Yeah.
um, I meant to say genitalia sense about it.
Oh, that okay. 'Cause I misunderstood. Thought you were being weird.
Well, I would say early online gaming as a whole was shitty because the technology wasn't good. It wasn't quite there yet. I would prefer to do a LAN party over trying to get the fucking Dreamcast, even though I didn't own the Dreamcast. But instead of trying to get the Dreamcast to hook up to the internet.
My online gaming was mostly either RuneScape or a game called Ragnarok Online. And I played the shit out of Ragnarok Online so much that I'd be up in the middle of the night and John would come up in the middle, like wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. He's like, "You're still on that shit?" Like he'd be yelling at me all the time.
Destroyed mom's laptop. This
Yeah.
this it never stood a chance.
No, it did not. But I would take it to a friend's house and we would not really LAN party, but we would both be playing the same game right next to each other and progressing and farming and doing all these things. It kind of became the same thing with RuneScape. We played the heck out of that, had almost maxed out for fishing and cooking with one of our other buddies, but then I found out I was suspicious, but I found out probably 3, 4 years ago that that friend actually did steal the account and it didn't get hacked. And
Oh, what a
yeah,
dick.
yeah. But we shared the account, and then it
Who
just
was it?
ceased to exist.
Who was it?
James, James,
Monk? Musty's?
yeah, yeah,
Motherfucker!
yeah.
He's lucky he could beat us up. Or
Well,
and beyond.
well, I hung out with his brother whenever I went down into Texas, and he told me he was like, "Yeah, no, my brother stole that shit."
You're lucky he's bigger than us. That would have been it.
Well, there's two of you versus one of him.
Also, that dude always hopped up on something nowadays. So no, we would have stood a chance. He
I
would
was
have thrown
joking
Okay.
damn
out.
thing.
Right.
Huh?
So so, so he had buffs going on, huh?
Yeah, he had
Buffs.
perks. Yeah.
Those two perks.
Perks and oh, that's funny. That took me a minute.
Did you guys ever get into StarCraft?
No, that's an MMO, right? That's one of those Blizzard
Yeah, it
early.
was. I think it's like the first Blizzard game
I didn't play
for
MMOs
PC.
like at all.
Yeah, it
I
was.
don't think I've ever actually played one.
No, no, the
Does Capcom make MMOs?
Was that not what I mentioned earlier? What did I
You
mention
you
earlier?
did you brought up Starfield with a list of other games.
Did I
Or is
say
that
Starfield or
StarCraft? Wait,
StarCraft?
Starfield is the new one, isn't it? The
Starfield's
Sky.
newer,
You talking
but
about StarCraft?
I thought I was talking about StarCraft. I could be absolutely wrong, but
No, but I
StarCraft is what I meant
mean
with the fog of war.
Matt, in this instance, are you talking about like StarCraft, like one of those earlier Blizzard
yes.
MMOs?
Yeah. Did you guys get into anything like that?
I
Um.
didn't.
Okay.
Uh, those were the ones that I was talking about with the fog of war, and I didn't want to make my army, that kind of stuff. But now going back, if I'm playing with multiple people, it might be a little bit more tolerable. I played Civilization with like 16 people, and it was fun for like the first 3 or 4 rounds watching people, and then people would take like 30-minute turns with 16 people. It's not ideal. Sitting there so long just waiting for the turn because as the time passes, that still only counts as like a little bit of time in game. So I'm just sitting there waiting, and then they could win on the next turn or two, and it's outrageous. But don't play it with a lot of people.
Yeah. My stepdad and I discovered quickly. Uh, it's like the first Matrix game for PC.
I never played that.
Um, and it's like,
Your
and
step,
it was like,
I'm your stepdad.
and it was open world, right? Or it was meant to be an online multiplayer type of deal. And it then we created a character. We were starting to play the game, and we're trying to join other people, and almost killed our computer just because our computer didn't have the capacity to run it. We're
Was
like,
that
well,
sorry?
we're
Was
not doing that anymore.
was that game called Matrix Online?
Yeah,
Monolith Productions.
no way.
Yeah, I didn't add it to the list for the other review because I never played it. I didn't think any of us had a connection to it, so it wouldn't be worth talking about. But yeah, WB shut them down. WB bought them, fumbled them, and then killed them. They've been making games since 1997. But
That's for another episode.
I just did research on another. I was doing research on another episode, and I just learned all that, and it's just fucking infuriating. And I'm like, we're not going to talk about it today, but here it is.
Yeah, I didn't know Monolith made that game. Holy
They
shit.
made a lot of good games
I
until
know.
WB bought them and fucked it all. Anyway, so online gaming. PlayStation 2 had the network adapter. That was the first time I had really heard of. I know there were other instances, but that was the first time a home console, in my experience, was able to was becoming mainstream with people playing online games, basically on
Yeah.
their TV instead of their computer monitors. I never had the network adapter, but I remember seeing Metal Gear Solid 3, so Metal Gear Online fascinated me until I got Metal Gear Solid 4 and played the online mode and just spawn die, spawn die, spawn die. And then I was like, well, maybe they made some tweaks with Metal Gear Solid 5. Maybe this will be better. I'm the problem. Like, I just spawned it up. Metal Gear Online, in my experience, people really love it. Like if you go on Facebook groups, internet forums, there are a lot of people out there that really, really love Metal Gear Online. I did not because I fucking sucked at it. Like, but that one was really, really popular, and I remember always wanting to try it and then being excited when I got my hands on Metal Gear Solid 4 because all that shit is built in with the PS3, and it's like I finally get to play it, and then playing it, I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't pay extra for that.
Which which Metal Gear had like the it was an online, but it was just like a versus. It's not Metal Gear Online. It was connected to another Metal Gear. Was it
Oh,
three or
that's
four?
it's three, and that is what Metal Gear Online is.
Okay, because I thought it was completely separate.
But
Because I'm
actually,
looking at Metal Gear.
both of them. So there's like Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater had Metal Gear Online, but I believe that's the first iteration of it.
Because
Huh.
there was a song, my buddy Jono, he played it religiously. Like he was probably one of the ones killing you every time that you walked into the lobby. But there was a song that was calling to the night, calling to the
Oh yeah, I
night,
love that song.
and I made him play that all the time. It is probably a trauma moment for him. I really like that song, and that's the one that he played religiously. Whatever one had that song.
I think that was Peace Walker. I
Uh,
know it's in Peace Walker, but I don't know if it's from Peace Walker.
Mhm.
The first time I remember hearing it was from Peace Walker, but that doesn't
uh,
mean that that's what it's from. I think James is Googling it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it was originally from Portable Ops.
Oh, that's why I don't really know what it was. That one's it's
Song
nice.
was also featured in Metal Gear 4 Guns of the Patriot. It was an unlockable song in Brawl and Ultimate, but Peace Walker,
Portable
uh,
Ops is not canon.
part of the song's
Fight me.
lyrics is in the boss's signature image, implemented along with photos of the boss as she is seen in Rokovoj Varig and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Uh, All right, that's our deep dive into Metal Gear. Have a great night. Uh,
We already did that episode. It sucks. We interrupt each other the whole time.
Yeah. Well, now you brought up the PS2, John. I had an Xbox, and
That's what
yeah,
happened.
yeah, that's what happened. And I was trying to play online, like what was it, Chaos Theory? I'm like, oh, there's like an online mode to Chaos Theory. That's fucking cool. And
Was it a like a deathmatch thing?
I don't know because I never made it past anything. Because saying you had to pay for the online for an
Oh,
Xbox,
yeah.
but I know I brought up the Dreamcast earlier. However, I didn't own a Dreamcast, and I didn't know it had online capabilities because, well, it got overshadowed greatly by for PS2.
Didn't have a DVD player. Should have had a
Yeah,
DVD player.
should have had a DVD player, but I knew all the stuff that the PlayStation 2 had. But I'm pretty sure Xbox came out a little bit later, like halfway through PS2's lifespan. I would, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Um, but considering the Xbox was developed by Microsoft, they probably, for the online stuff, they probably got it working the best, considering they were already dabbling in online play with PCs. But you had to
Yeah.
pay for an extra subscription for the internet to play on your Xbox.
And
Or
you had to get an adapter. Even on the
and
360, the early 360s, you had to buy an extra
yeah,
piece
and
of
then
hardware.
adapter. Now it just wasn't built in with it. Like no, you need an adapter for PS2 as well.
The thing I looked up said that the some of the later Slimline PS2 models had it built in.
Mm-hmm.
Before reading that on the internet, I'd never heard of that. I had no idea that any PS2s had online functionality built in. I still question the authenticity of that statement. It is from Wikipedia.
Uh, in Wikipedia, you never know.
Well, I'm looking through the games because I knew that I had a buddy that had the PlayStation 2 adapter, and he was an anime weeb like myself, but he had Fantasy Star Universe, Final Fantasy 4 11,
Hey, Fantasy Star's pretty fun.
and he
11.
also Final Fantasy 11. Final Fantasy 11 and 14 are the online only games.
Oh yeah, and that's why I never
Yeah.
played those.
And then Dot Hack had a game
I think I
that was
have it.
online.
Doesn't Dot Hack have a few
Dot Hack
games?
Fragment is apparently the online one
Okay.
that
What's at
has
the
online
bottom?
capabilities.
Because you remember, James, I don't know if you remember, but
When you bought
you
like
had a.
7 games from me, yeah,
I bought a lot more than 7 games
like
from you.
Ender Zone and stuff like that,
Zone of the
and
Enders,
Zone
and
of Enders,
I think there was a Devil May Cry in there. There was a bunch of shit. I paid you like 100.
Otokai 3.
Yes, it's in the
Yes.
games. It's in the. It's either GameStop or Game Crazy case.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think there was Kingdom Hearts number 2, I think. But yeah, there was plenty. There was plenty.
Yeah, I think there was definitely a dot hack in there.
But those ones, I actually knew somebody who actively played online PS2 games, and I think that's my only connection to it.
I have PS2 games that could have been played online. I just didn't. I think I have the entire PS2 line of SOCOM games, and I haven't played any of them. It was just at a yard sale. They had a stack, and they were like, "Give me $1." I'm like, "Well, fuck yeah!" Never played them, but it was like $1. Like,
Oh yeah, the Dance Dance Revolutions, they had online lobbies, like or not lobbies, the leaderboards.
oh, okay. I was gonna say leaderboards, but like to do DDR competitively in real time
Oh, it would have
online,
been awful. It would have been
lag.
awful. The latency, yeah.
It'd be awful today.
Okay, so I used to play DDR and I was playing the music and everything while John, this is sidebar.
That's fine. Go
He
for it.
used to like yell at me because of the high puffy Amiyumi anime, high pitch, everything that was always playing on the
So
TV.
people
And
don't talk like that. I don't care what country you're from. People do not speak that way. I'm sorry.
and he would be yelling at me, like, turn that shit down. Turn that shit down. I was like, I'm playing a game that requires me to be able to listen to the tempo of the song. He's like, you could do it. That's showing the arrows. You don't have to listen to this shit. I don't want to listen to this shit. And I'd be like, nope, I'm still playing. Do, 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 do. Like,
I remember to bring Paulo up again, he would hook up two DDR mats side by side, and he would play player one and player two on
man,
higher difficulties very well.
very
Which,
well.
while it was technically magnificent, I still don't give a shit about DDR. It was very good. Like it was cool watching someone do something that's very hard,
Nah,
regardless of what it is.
that definitely made me make out with that man.
That well, do what you want. It's not like you're getting into heaven.
It did happen. It did happen.
Didn't looking in the notes for the part where I asked, but I'm not seeing it. Anyway, if we're ready to move on forward, what was the first game that you guys played online? I know for me, when James got me that PS3, he got me SmackDown versus Raw 2007 and Guitar Hero 3. So technically, the first online game I played was SmackDown versus Raw 2007, which was a mistake. Because I was introduced to online games and hacking at the same time. Um, it was not very it wasn't that game. Not to say that game wasn't fun, but playing it online kind of sucked the fun out of it. It was, I'd say, Resistance for me. That was the first one I was like kind of hooked on.
Resistance was great.
What
Free
about
beer.
you
We already talked about
guys?
that though.
Yeah. What about you guys?
So I don't know if you know about this game. I played a game called RuneScape. Uh,
You keep bringing it up.
That's the one where like every guy who plays it gets laid, right? Just
yeah, absolutely.
automatically, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're a level 67 wizard in RuneScape. Put a baby in me. Like, yeah, that's that one. It was on the
You,
news. It was an epidemic.
you keep acting like as if you're talking into a tin can. I think you're moving away from your mic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Angle it towards my face a little better.
But no, I delved in. We're just gonna name drop everybody that was friends. We had a friend named Van, and he played a game called Moo Online. There's a
I
lot
saw
of
that guy kick a dude's ass in high school, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. That
Who
guy
needs
was getting.
online when you can see this in real life? Uh, but no, we ended up delving into a lot of MMOs, like Moo Online, Ragnarok Online, World of Warcraft, RuneScape. There was by the time that we were done with high school, I had played at least a week or so of like 20 different MMOs until we found ones that we enjoyed. But we delved into so many. I still have I bought, I think it was Guild Wars 2. I have a key and it's still in my AOL email because anytime that I try to go back to it, it needs that original key to download it and say that I have access to it if I wanted to play. Because I have another friend that plays it, and the only reason I didn't like it is that there was no healers. Every single class has a healing capability, but there is no support classes. There's ones that can kind of buff each other, like I think the mechanic style characters are able to do things and they're able to do more dot damage and stuff. But I always play support style characters, so it not having that ruined it for me. But most of those online games have that. Even like Battlefield, whenever the one of the first ones came on for the multiplayer, I was the medic. Running over, defibrillator.
I think I think maybe like most people, the first game I ever played online officially and played against other people was Call of Duty.
I was about to guess that. What, Modern
That's all I
Warfare?
have to say. Yeah, that's all I really have to say is yeah, Call of Duty, Warfare.
Yeah, we when Modern Warfare came out, I was in Iraq and we had all the LAN parties and everything. I bought because everybody fucking had it on Xbox for whatever reason. I bought the Xbox 360 while I was out in Iraq 3 times. I have owned a 360 3 times. And out there, being so young, didn't care about money. I would sell it for like half the price to a buddy. And then they would start up a tournament of a LAN party or some nature, and I would need it again because everybody it wasn't split screen multiplayer LAN party. So you still had to have your own console. And
Right.
I had to keep buying it because they would always be popping up with these things. And I didn't want it. There was no room in my room. I didn't need a PS3 and a 360. So I would just get rid of it, make a little bit of money, do other things, and then now I need a 360 again. So
Donks. Investments.
Yeah, I got my ass kicked a lot when I first started playing online. I'm like, man, I suck at this.
But nowadays, so kids have access to things like Fortnite and other free-to-play games. Do you
Right.
guys think that that's completely changed the way people play online games, or if that has any effect on let's call it a culture of online gaming versus I guess not playing online? Do you think that that is affected? Like, would it be different if out of the gate PS3 or whatever your earliest iterations of playing online, if something like Fortnite was available, would it have a lasting ripple effect today?
I think so.
Explain.
it are you talking about free games
Yeah,
or
free to play
free to play
games.
online?
Yeah, free to play online.
Because those are
I,
completely two different categories.
What do you mean?
Well, so if it's free to play and free to play online is like Fortnite. Now, sure, you need the PlayStation subscription and everything, sure,
You don't.
but
You don't.
oh, okay, then they removed that because you did for a little bit.
It's their own.
Uh,
It's Epic Games' own server.
Gotcha. But you did for a little bit, so I wasn't even counting that. But there's other games where You do need the online subscriptions like Xbox did and everything like that. But I'm talking
Hmm.
about like Mag. I talked about it in one of the previous episodes. The shooting game that was on the PS3. You didn't need the PlayStation Plus. You bought the game and then the access to it was free. Now there's other games like World of Warcraft where you have to buy the game and the monthly subscription. There are free versions, but to do a majority of the game, especially the end game content, you still have to buy the monthly subscription. So that's what's there's two different categories.
Now, this is for free to play online,
Okay.
like Fortnite. So I honestly, if Fortnite came out around like the PS3 era, something super early on when online gaming first started to take, I think it would have a huge rippling effect to this day because it already is starting to with the culture of gaming. That's because what I've noticed is you got people out there, they mostly just stick to free to play. It's like, put money, why spend X amount of dollars on something when you could just, you know, have something free to play and you just pay a little bit of money to keep the service. You know what I mean? Like in Fortnite, you need your V Bucks and things like that. It is free to play, but in order to get like the battle pass and things like that to get all the exclusive stuff, quote unquote, is either you pay for it or you can earn it by spending V Bucks. And you spent X amount of time in the game to get those V Bucks. And you don't have to spend any money at all. It's just your time that's going into this. But there's still plenty of other people that are like, oh, that's a cool skin. I want like the whole collection. They're willing to spend the money.
They get you with the FOMO, which I get. Like, I think it's scummy, but I bet they make more in sales by doing it. Like if they're like, "Hey, the Boba Fett skin is available because of the Book of Boba Fett series on Disney Plus," it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be up for very long. And you can't
Yeah.
just like I would have liked to go on Fortnite. Like I know you got the Jill Valentine skin.
Yes.
And I
And
would
Chris
have
Redfield.
fucking loved to have the Jill Valentine skin. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna go buy that. It's not available.
Apparently there's supposed to be, or there already has been a Darth Jar Jar, and I need it.
Mm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
put Solid Snake on there, but they cut his ass cheeks off.
Yeah. I didn't get the Solid Snake one. I
Just
Well,
use
missed
they
the
cut
girl
his
that
ass
avatar
off.
opportunity.
because just use the girl avatar. She's got some cakes.
Yeah, but it's Snake. You spend like fucking 12 hours staring at his ass as you sneak around, and they put him in Fortnite and they cut his ass off.
Not all of us can beat the game that fast. We appreciate taking our time staring at the.
If we had something like this back when we were younger, I think it would have been great, in all honesty, because you didn't, kids today, they don't have to ask their parents for money or anything to play a game online, and they can connect with other people. Of course, it's the internet, you got assholes and trolls and things like that, but ideally, it's meant for you to make friends and enjoy an experience together. Like I said, ideally, but then you got trolls.
Together. Yeah, I think it's a. I've said it before. I'm not a fan of Fortnite. I'm not good at it. I don't have fun when I play it. I do think it's amazing, and I think it's fucking awesome that kids have access to something like that. All you need is a console and internet connection. It's
Mm-hmm.
free on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, on the
PC,
PC,
everything, and it's
um, and
cross-platform.
on your phone. I think you can play it on your phone.
Yep.
Yep, phones and tablets. I think it would have been very interesting. It would have brought a lot more people to the internet if it started earlier, but a lot of people may have seen the complications coming with it, and it probably would have had a lot more hiccups, and people would have fallen off, and the game wouldn't have been as successful. Because I don't think the consoles were ready for a game of that stature with the people playing on the servers because even sometimes whenever the Fortnite gets an update, even with the new consoles and everything that we have, the decked out PCs, the servers still crash with the amount of people trying to get on there day one of a big patch. So I think a
That's
lot
true.
more people would fall off. It would still have a fan base, but it wouldn't be as massive until they, like John said, had skins that absolutely drew people back.
Wasn't there?
Or
There
the
was like a
next big thing would have come out. If, let's say Fortnite did start early on and then it failed, developers would have looked at them like, hey, how can we improve this?
wasn't there a game? I want to say Diablo 3. I might be wrong, but it like broke a lot of records for day one sales. But as a result, so like everybody waits at the like record amounts of people wait at the midnight release for this game. They all buy it at the exact same time, go home at the same time, install it at the same time, download the update at the same time, and just obliterate those servers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Diablo 3.
That was
That's
pretty
it,
funny,
it
honestly.
does that for Call of Duties too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like if there were other games, so there are some limited towards consoles and towards PC, like Valorant, I don't think has hit consoles yet. Valorant is one of the biggest because it's in the same mindset of like Counter-Strike.
Mhm.
It's one of the biggest first-person shooters. If you've played Counter Strikes before, it's Counter Strike with like Overwatch powers. There's a lot of different characters that do different things. Not everybody is universally the same, so you can get locked in to a really shitty character that you don't care about if you didn't learn them yet. Uh, but if League of Legends was on consoles,
Yeah.
that would be huge. You could probably convince somebody into attempting to try it, John. And then he
Good.
absolutely hates it. Yeah, see, yep,
It
but
actually puts a virus on your computer that runs League of Legends when you
yeah,
kill
yeah,
it.
Or
yeah.
like earlier, you brought up Fantasy Star. I didn't get into
Mhm.
Fantasy Star until New Genesis, and that is when they put it on console.
Fantasy Star?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
That was a
MMO.
turn-based RPG.
Well, there's also games. There's also straight up
Oh,
games for
before it was
Yeah,
MMO. Because I'm thinking like Sega Genesis.
yeah, it's an MMO, very much anime weave type shit. But if you get past all that, you get that cool anime combat. So fuck you, John.
What did I do?
We already know your opinion towards anime stuff, so you
Yeah,
know.
fuck
I
you.
just like good things.
Anime
Right
is
now,
good.
right now you're the minority and we're oppressing you.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
possible you're both wrong. What? You gonna say
Oh,
something?
yeah, I was gonna say because Matt rudely interrupted me with positivity of anime.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, how dare you?
How
Uh,
dare I indeed?
what I was getting at is so along with all those online games that are free, it allows people to have that conversation to get them to delve into it. So if John played it and then somehow craziest fucking thing, he enjoyed it. That's another person in the community, you know? So a better example, because he's still shaking his head, no, understandable. Dauntless. Did you ever attempt Dauntless?
I have. That game is fun as fuck.
So
Isn't
Daunt
that Epic Games is free Monster Hunter?
exactly.
Yes.
That
So
is exactly what it is.
it's the Fortnite guys doing Monster Hunter.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is the we have Monster Hunter at home.
So yeah. So with stuff like that, it can introduce you to that style of stuff. And then you see a game that's like, oh, that game's like Dauntless. And it's been Monster Hunter that's been established and well polished and everything for
Yeah.
decades now, and finding its new groove and everything. And then you look at it, you watch people play it, and it's smoother, it's better, it's more beautiful, it's actually functionable rather than being a clunky Fortnite clone Monster Hunter. Like it increases the fan base. Now you've gone into this, and now you see that you have all the little companions that you can have, and you can ride on a big chicken looking dinosaur thingy, and then you have a grappling hook in the new games, and it just gets better and better if it's something that pulls you in. So you get to see that there's all these other games that you didn't get to attempt before because somebody finally introduced you to say, "Hey, let's go try this new free game that just came out."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's good. Those words you said. Do you guys think that the integration of the internet has affected the way games are developed, I would say live service games
I
are a
would,
big deal.
I just say as to like put a blanket over everything. Yes, it has changed development.
Moving on.
And a lot of the things that have changed is companies. I know they spend a lot of time, they invest in a lot of money in games, but I don't know what happens during the development process, but things get delayed and stuff. And sometimes, maybe more than just sometimes, they'll release a game that's not finished and give you a day one patch to
That's
like,
literally every game for the last
right.
like 10 years or more.
And I understand having day one patches and updates and stuff for multiplayer games online because it's a different field. It's a different it's a different thing versus single players games. And they used to release games where it was it worked. It had to be a complete product.
Yeah, or it didn't
Is that
work
the
and
end of
just
that? Like that's all you're gonna say?
Well, I thought John was going to add to it. That's why I kind of stopped to let him talk.
or it just didn't work and that and then your company's fucked forever and that's they yeah.
Yeah, there's no in between. But with the way they handle the development for gaming now, it is so very different, and the fans get pissed and stuff like that. But but these companies just keep doing the same thing, and I think it's because we also allow them to because we've gotten comfortable with you know what they're going to fix it later.
Yeah, they
But
needed to have dependable quality control
yes,
divisions in there. Like so Nintendo, like back in the NES days, they would stress test the consoles where they would like so you put a game in, click it down, click it back up, pull the game out, and do that over and over again, like 500 times, and then turn it on and try to play it to see like if the console can withstand that amount of, wear and tear. And I just don't think people are doing things like that anymore with software or hardware.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I will always appreciate day one patches because let's say it was Sonic the Hedgehog on the Genesis. If there was a moment where you bounce up on the spring and if you didn't hit the platform and land on it, and you only hit the corner on everywhere else in the world, you would be perfectly fine and you would just continue walking because you barely hit the edge and got on. But if there was this one spot and it was a pointy edge and counted as a pointy edge and killed you, you'd be pissed, right? Like you're able to do this
Yeah.
everywhere else and it's perfectly fine. But if they don't have a solution and this was rolled out with every single one and they don't have a patch update for it, you're screwed. I mean, you just have to be better, which is very frustrating. Or it mechanically it should work like everything else in the game. But if it didn't have the ability to be resolved, like say somebody day one, like everybody's bitching and complaining because now they can't get past World 4 and Stage 2 because this thing keeps stopping everybody, like universally across the world. And they couldn't do that. They would I think it's better nowadays to have those patches than not have those patches because yes, they did have a better success rate of the games not having game breaking glitches, but if they do have a game breaking glitch, that could be fixed now.
Yeah, I remember when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, there's a mission called Metallic Archaea, which is like a boss fight where you fight some of the Skulls unit. And the glitch was, if I remember correctly, and this is the day one version of the game, if you had Quiet, the half naked stripper sniper lady, if you had her set as your partner when you went to do that mission, after you beat it, your game would not progress anymore. Like you're fucked. They had to fix that. Why are the people who are not employed by Konami or Sony or anything, just the customers are the ones finding these things, not
yeah.
not the
Now,
companies.
I understand where James is coming from, where you come across a game breaking glitch or a bug and you want it to be fixed. I'm just saying that we should at least get something that works. And then if people discover something, then yeah, release an update to fix it. That's fine. That is completely fine. Just don't release a game that's half finished and then update it later.
Counter argument. uh, those games are already made. Let's say the game was finished and everybody tested it. They had thousands of testers. Now they gave it to somebody that's going to be giving a review, right? They're already being printed, mass multi-million prints everywhere. And that's how the game is. That's their finishing point, right? So they have
Mm-hmm.
provided these to the people who are going to give reviews, to the content creators that are going to make early reviews and all that kind of stuff, and they're able to stream bits and parts of it here and there. They can run into those problems before the game even hits the shelf. So those are also testers to a degree, but the game has already released by their standing points. Now, the game
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been sold, but the game is out in the world already. Now, they need to be able to fix those things before it hits the rest of the world. Somebody else found something that was wrong with it. They have to be able to resolve that. So that's whenever we get those day one patches because something found it after it was finalized.
Video Game Donkey, I haven't seen him do it much lately, but his Assassin's Creed Origins video is a great example where like he makes games look really fucking bad. And it's hilarious. Like, because he's not playing with the day one patches. That much is obvious because I've played
Mm-hmm.
some of these games and I don't have these problems that are in his videos. But the yeah, his Assassin's Creed Origins video is a perfect example of just that game, the way whatever he did, if it wasn't with the day one patch or like he got a review copy, which he's a very popular YouTuber, so he probably does get review copies of games. And it just looked like like maybe they don't do that anymore because he makes them look bad. He shows them for what they are. He shows like what they gave him. And it's just like Assassin's
Giant
Creed
pieces of
Origins
shit.
was a giant flaming piece of shit to him. I didn't think the game was that bad. I didn't have nearly the problems he had, but god damn.
Yeah.
That one, I know he has more that are good examples, but that's the first one that popped into my head. And I know he does for sure if you guys want to watch something funny later. Video game donkeys, Assassin's Creed Origins. That's the Egyptian one. Um, it just like he did not do that game any favors at all. I bet they regret giving him a review copy.
But now, well, real quick on that with video game donkey is that's a I see that as a good thing to really highlight what's wrong with the game so that way they can be like, oh shit, maybe we should fix this before we, you know, give it to the rest of the world.
It's
And
too late by that point.
well, they should have fucking had all these things figured out before releasing the game. And then do an update to fix minor stuff.
Because I
That's what
think
day
what he
Like,
patches are.
does,
hmm?
his
That's what day one
videos
patches are.
his videos come out a little while after the games do. So I think what's happening is because obviously these videos take time to make.
Right.
You're not making any. They're like a five one of his 5 minute videos. I promise he's not doing it in a day. Like those take a
Or
while.
yeah, he's probably sitting there recording for like 3, 4 hours and then condensing that into 5 minutes.
Yeah. So I think he has a head start, and by the time he's done with his video and ready to post it, the game's already out.
Yeah.
And it's like brand new. And he's just like, yeah, it's a piece of shit. Look, I'm falling through the floor. Like,
Now, in a more positive change of things, the way the internet has changed gaming development is I like the attempt because it's not for all, but to incorporate online play with a single player game. And what I mean by the attempt is that like Call of Duty, it's perfect. Like you get both the main campaign, the story campaign that you can play if you don't want to play with anybody, or you could jump online and do some online, you know, shit, whatever. But like a game like The Last of Us, where it's strictly a single player game, and
That
to
had
give it,
online multiplayer.
I know it did, but I like the idea behind them, or like Uncharted. That they weren't as polished as Call of Duty. That's all I'm getting at.
Uncharted had a multiplayer too.
I know
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's just I like that how on the online part for a gaming company for the development of it, like they try to give you the best of both worlds.
Well, like I mentioned, I delved into multiplayer games hardcore. I really, really enjoy having a community base that's in the same thing that I'm enjoying. Sure, there's Reddits and forums and all that kind of stuff for Metal Gear and stuff. But if I were to jump into Metal Gear, I would probably be on the multiplayer side like I am with Call of Duty. I don't really play the campaigns. I'd want to jump in and already show my friends that I'm already doing well or learn the maps so I can perform well whenever I'm playing with all my other friends. So if there was a game that I really enjoyed, I don't know, fucking Horizon Zero Dawn, just a random fucking game that
I
had
don't
no
like that. Like, I don't know.
Anyway, anyway, if Horizon Zero Dawn had a multiplayer of sorts, even if it was just like a couch, not couch co-op, like a two-player running through the open world concept, like the mod that happened with Skyrim, you're able to play, I think, with 18 people online. There was a mod that came out like a year and a half ago, and you're able to play with a whole bunch of people. That would make the game so much better for me mentally, because then I am not just droning through in an adventure by myself. Those are fun, but I always this is going to sound like a flex, not a flex. Whenever I jump into a game and somebody sees me online, they want to play Dead by Daylight, or they want to play another multiplayer game, League of Legends, or they want to play something else. And now I have to pause what I'm doing, stop, go to the other game. And then if I was able to bring them to the game that I'm already playing, that would make it expansive and better. I would like that. That I don't have to stop
Absolutely
what I'm
flex.
doing. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say it's exactly a flex because James has established himself as a streamer and he has gained popularity because of that. So if you see a streamer that you follow, like James, hop online, yeah, you're going to bug the shit out of him to play with you, not really give him a chance to, do something on his own.
I said it wasn't a flex.
I'm just so like it's kind of like a double-edged sword for James, Yeah, yeah, he has the popularity for being a streamer, but also if he ever just wants to sit there and chill, he really can't. He's kind of forced to play online.
I don't like that. Well, like one of the ways the internet has affected gaming development is the basically the cutting of couch co-op or couch competitive. I get
It
that
is.
less people are doing it and more people are playing online, but does it really cost you a lot to leave it as an option? The first time I noticed it was Turok on the PS3, which I understand that game didn't do very well. I beat it a couple of times, really liked it, and then never touched it again. And have no desire to go back and play it again. But I did like it for what it was. It's not worth very much money. If you can get that game for like a couple bucks, I'd say it's worth it. But I remember Turok 2, I think had couch deathmatch. And I know Turok Evolution did because I used to like 1v1 my friends. We'd have like slumber parties and stuff, and I'd bring over Turok and my GameCube, and we'd just play offline death matches with each other, and it was a lot of fun. So I remember getting Turok on PS3. I'm playing it, and I called one of my friends. I was like, "Hey, I got the new Turok. Come over, let's play it." And we're sitting there trying to figure out how to play it split screen, and it's just gone for no real reason.
Yeah.
I was just like, why get rid of that? Like we're sitting here trying to fucking play it, and we can't. Like that's one of the things Evolution was famous for.
Well, I was also thinking about like when you're sitting there playing the game and it's couch co-op. It's just so satisfying to look over at the people you're gonna fuck over while you're playing Mario Party or something. You can just
Yeah,
look at them dead in their eyes, real time, and just it just they know it was you. And it's just so satisfying. Or I was also
Little
thinking
Big
about that
Planet.
one time when this one time, hey John, you remember that time Ruben came over to your place and we were playing Mortal Kombat and we fucking just beat the dog shit out of him like 20 times in a row. It was like 20 to nothing.
I would say that's not really a couch co-op. That is a versus game.
Well, well, you can play fighting games online now.
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I don't think
eventually
there's
they're gonna take that out. Like being able to play against each other at home, that will go. That would make as much
I
sense as getting rid of it in it because Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare you could play split screen together and fight and kill each other and stuff. So like, it really blew my mind you couldn't do that in Turok. Like how that was a good decision, I will never understand. So with that mindset, it tracks with me that eventually you won't be able to play Street Fighter versus somebody else who is standing next to you.
I I don't know. I don't see that ever happening because there's a difference between in your exact previous statement. Call of Duty never had that from the start.
Oh, they
Street Fighter
ported.
did. Street Fighter had it since one, the shitty one that was on the NES. Like
That
Call of
was on the
Duty
arcade.
1 didn't have it like that. It just had a campaign. And then they had the multiplayers jump in with the other ones. And then it slowly expanded to having the couch co-ops and then taking it away. Like it wasn't always there. So I don't think that Street Fighters or stuff that's intended to be side-scrolling fighters are ever going to take away the couch co-op option. I don't think there's a fighter. This is me just hardballing an answer. I don't think there's a fighter that has side-scrolling or even like Dragon Ball Z's or anything like that that doesn't have a two-player option on the same console.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So I don't
Also,
see it going away ever.
in my opinion, though, it would make as much sense as taking it out of like Turok, which
okay.
it made no sense to me that they did that. I don't get it.
That wasn't an
Like
online though, right? That was just
it
it was
was
just a campaign.
online.
Okay.
You can play it online. It had a multiplayer, but you just couldn't split screen like 1v1 people
So
anymore.
I think their risk with taking out the multiplayer with those games is either have it one player or have it couch co-op and that's it, or have it one player and then have the world be able to play it. And that is a money answer option. If they're able to get a whole bunch of people to get the consoles, to get the games, to get the online subscription, and to get the internet, Spectrum, Cox communication, what like all that kind of stuff, it all comes down to how can they capitalize their dollar. And they want to be able to make more games for other people. So they're focusing on getting all their money. Eventually, maybe a couch co-op like It Takes Two or the what is it, Split Second? What's the new one?
I don't know.
A Way Out is one of the previous ones. It's the same company. There's also
Yeah.
apparently talks about a movie. But if the answer to be able to keep the company afloat is single player or couch co-op or single player and online, they're going to choose online because they could try to bring in a bigger fan base. If they give all three, wonderful. But if they're trying to get the game out to the masses and get it out as fast as possible, they're going to do two out of the three. If they're able to add something that gives a couch co-op later, like say if there was 7 Days to Die If you're able to play it by yourself, if you're able to play it by, I know you could do all the different game modes and adjust everything, but if there was something by yourself and only by yourself, and then with the world, and you're able to have a whole bunch of people, and then if there was one that was specifically an absolute different game mode, that it was you and another person on the same couch, but it was like just a horde mode, and it was just you defending and building masses and defending from the zombies, but that came later, that would be dope because then they'd be able to finesse it and be able to bring it into your world, into your couch. But having that also at the very beginning would delay the creation of the game. And if it's games like Assassin's Creed, if there was the multiplayer being added back in, how would you be able to do that couch co-op? It's going to be very difficult if you're able to see the person who's transformed into whatever.
Oh, well,
So
that one's designed to not be.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
that one's kind of the exception because it's specifically designed to not be like you can't play Uno. You can't play Uno on online like against each other. You can team up, like you can both be like one player, which is weird. Like you really can. There's an option where like we could play couch co-op Uno versus like AI or maybe even I don't know if you can do it online, but yeah, it wouldn't make sense
Right.
if we're playing Uno against each other and we could see each other's cards.
In
Yeah.
all honesty, when it comes to fighting games, I think they're always going to have all three options because of tournaments. Like tournaments for every type of fighting game out there, especially the big ones like Street Fighter, Smash, and Mortal Kombat. They are sitting there playing it couch co-op for the most part.
I think it's extremely rare nowadays that like these companies that make games, this is going to be kind of a very negative take, but the companies that make these games, if you take the video game element out of it, these are companies that make products that want to make money, the most amount of money that they possibly can.
That's
I
every single company in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that their main motivation is like, hey, let's make a video game that people are going to love. It's, hey, let's make a video game that's going to make us a lot of money. So let's say Cox Cable or some big internet provider approaches Capcom and says, hey, we'll give you $1 billion if you take the local battling, like the one versus player two on the same console, will give you a shitload of money if you get rid of that feature to incentivize more people to hook up to our internet service. Now I'm not speaking to the integrity of Capcom, they're just an example, but I think that there are companies that would do that because it would make them more money and it would also incentivize the customers to spend more money on this other company's product, which they would have a deal that would make them more money. If that does that make sense?
It does make sense, but also
I think they would lose more fan base because a lot of people would fall off because now they don't have this ability to do it. So like what was it? Halo Infinite, a prime example. They removed the ability for couch co-op, and they made it just a big open world and everything. So you could still play separate consoles and jump in with each other, but there was no couch co-op at the time. And I think even what, like the first month or two, they did not have the ability for multiplayer through the campaign, and it was slowly added in. If that's a prime example of what would come if they did get rid of the ability for two player on the same console, then it's going to fail. Because when's the last time that you've heard somebody talk about Halo Infinite?
Well, then it's bad.
Well, yeah.
I
So
never
yeah,
played it, so I don't really have an actual opinion, but I think that like so again, like now I think Capcom would probably have a little bit more integrity than this, and they're just the first company that popped in my head. I'm not throwing shade at them, but they own Street Fighter. Nobody else makes Street Fighter. If you're a big Street Fighter fan, you want to play the new one, you don't have a choice. There's no options. Or
I,
if they do
I
Smash Brothers Ultimate 2 and they take out the local couch play, which would be ridiculous considering like with the Switch you could hook 8 controllers up to it. It would be insane for them to do something like that. But if they were incentivized to do something like that and you love Smash like I do and I know Matt does, they could make it where like Nintendo has a monopoly on Smash Brothers. There's been a million different clones. In my opinion, none of them are nearly as good. Multiverses
That's
was
that's
not
absolutely
good.
true.
Brawlhalla is not very good. Multiverses is dead because it sucked. Brawlhalla is it's
On
cool that
life
it's free.
support.
It's
It's
free.
a pretty huge tournament based game right now. It's still
It's
huge.
free. I still don't think it's very good, but for a free game, I think it's incredible. But
But
nobody, in my opinion, nobody has been able to even come close to however Smash Bros is doing it. I mean, there's a lot of clones, but if they were to do that and you were to want to do Smash Brothers, you wouldn't have a choice.
I see what you're getting at, but I honestly don't see that happening. I mean,
Yeah, that
you know
wouldn't. I
what?
doubt that they would do that. That would be
I,
insane. But
I
it's
would,
just
I would,
examples.
I know, but okay, one company that might actually do that shit would be fucking EA
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
because
EA or
because
Ubisoft, they would do. They would.
like because
I should have used them.
yeah, because EA did at one point in time say, "Hey, we're gonna move away from single player experiences and try to go more online with our games." Like that
Eats
was
ass
a
entertainment.
yeah, like that was a thing that they've been trying to incorporate for a long time now. It's just strictly online play. But
So
you're gonna have companies like Nintendo and Capcom and the probably Santa Monica Studios where they're going to because they have a track record of delivering excellent games with excellent stories and excellent gameplay. And that's how they keep their business. That's how they are so successful. And that's how they make the most money is because they do care about the customer. They do care about the product they're putting out. They're not just pieces of shit that are just trying to make the most money as quick as possible. They make a shit ton of money because they do care.
James,
yeah,
you were saying something.
I was gonna say another thing that another example that changing a game so drastically would kind of lead to a somewhat downfall. Like Street Fighter has taken kind of a down curve in the tournament industry because what they started doing, what, two Street Fighters ago? I don't know if it was in four, but five and six, absolutely. They made only X amount of characters available, and then they have like quarterly passes that they'll
Mm.
sell you, and then finally you get this character, and finally you get this character, and finally you get this
Technic
character.
Technically, they've been doing that since the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's just so Street Fight. If you buy
Super
Street
Street
Fighter
Fighter Turbo
2,
and all that kind of stuff. Yes,
yeah,
no, I
and
get that.
they did it with four. They had Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, Ultimate Edition, Ultra
Yeah.
Street Fighter 4. Like they've always,
Super Street Fighter 4.
it's scummy as shit, but they've always I think it's Ultra Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition or something. It's probably
Mm-hmm.
the one with everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition is the one that has everybody.
Yeah, but that's after all the characters come out.
Yeah,
So if you want
Yes.
to play with them and you want to do all those things, you're slowly building and buying. And there's a lot of people who now fall off of the game, except for the hardcore competitors. And then people just buying it because it's the fan base that aren't buying the game until it's like ridiculously on sale or it gets tossed up in a free thing somewhere, or it's already been 15 years, the game's already out, and I'll decide to finally buy it. Like I didn't buy four, different reason. I didn't like cell shading. I still don't like cell shading. I didn't buy four until it was already like 6 years in to Call of Duty because that came out 2008, and I definitely waited to buy that game. And then I suckered
that's
in and got five, but yeah,
I
but
Well,
haven't played any of them after 4. I thought they nailed it with 4. I didn't need a sequel to 4. I think 4 is the shit. 4 is the best version of Street Fighter I've played, in my opinion. You can make the argument for Alpha because it's a little bit faster paced and you can adjust the fight speed a little bit more. 4 nailed it. I didn't play any of the other ones. I do think it's kind of scummy the way that they do that with characters. Like if Street Fighter 7 comes out, That's awesome. Wait a year or two until Street Fighter 7 actually comes out and they stop dicking people around.
No,
Well,
the ultimates and champion editions and all that kind of stuff, they still don't come out until every character is released.
Yeah, that's why I say
So
like wait like a year or two until the actual
it's like
game
four
comes out.
years. It's like
It's
4 years.
fucking insane. That's
Because they'll do at least 2 years of content, and then they'll do like the next version, and then they'll do another 2 years of content, and then it'll be the full version.
so like Street Fighter. So like when Street Fighter 5 originally came out and it had that limited number of characters, but you paid full price for the game. You paid full price for a demo. That is a demo. That is
well,
not Street Fighter 5. The Ultimate Arcade, whatever. That's Street Fighter 5.
first of all, you don't need any other character except for Ryu. So
Fei Long, Ryu, Fei Long, and Chun-Li.
no,
Yeah.
you just need Ryu. Fuck everyone else.
Well, Fei
And
Long got
second,
removed from the game
and second of all,
Why?
because the family for Bruce Lee found it offensive, and they asked for them to remove it, and Fei Long has been removed from the game. He's been gone for a couple games now.
he's been gone since. Well, he's in four, but he's been gone since five. So
Yeah,
the
he's not
last
in
2 games.
five.
That
So
Well,
is
that's still 8 years. So
dumb. I just
I'm
want to point out, I've of all the beautiful martial arts techniques I've seen Bruce Lee do, I've never seen him fight another person. But but you've seen Fei Long fight people, even though he's fictional. I don't know that seems really really dumb. And anything the Fei Long character was more of a love letter to Bruce Lee than someone making fun of him or being disrespectful. I did, in my opinion, that's fucking my brain up that you're telling me that.
the, all right. So when the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out,
Yeah.
there's that scene with Bruce Lee.
Hmm.
The Bruce Lee family flip out over that.
From what I've heard about the history of Bruce Lee and how he came over to America and the way he treated stuntmen, from what I've heard and what I've read and seen on the internet, that is a pretty accurate description of his behavior. Quentin Tarantino said like his daughter being upset is the only one that actually had any impact on him. He's like everybody else can go fuck themselves. Because
Mm.
I didn't, it wasn't my intention to like hurt her feelings or anything, but that is yeah, they don't that shit that's not fighting, that's dancing. MMA is fighting. But anyway, total tangent.
Yeah,
I
but
just can't believe they got rid of Fei Long, one of the best characters in the
he
franchise, who was a
he
love letter and
is.
a respectful representation of Bruce Lee and his heritage. They decided to have him taken out, probably because Capcom wasn't giving them money. But I didn't mean to like go on this big tangent. That fucked my brain up. That
Well, well. Also, there was another movie, biopic about Bruce Lee. The family didn't like it. I don't know what's going on with the family, but anything that you do, and it's like they just don't like it. But anyways, I was also gonna say, like, yeah, four was perfect for Street Fighter, but there's a lot of good stuff to five.
I never played it at all.
It's like they changed some stuff up with the combat, and so it's a lot more technical versus how the older ones play. They made it a lot more technical, which I really enjoyed for five. But moving on after that whole tangent about Bruce Lee.
sorry. I back to Bruce Lee real quick. I found something that was a comment from the Bruce Lee account that said we never made any comment of this nature. We have no idea who Daniel Lindholm says his close friends of the family are, but his comments are entirely false surrounding the Bruce Lee family. And then it says that there was no actual comment from the Bruce Lee family. We do not, then Capcom spokesperson said we do not comment on rumor and or speculation. And then this article says, while it's unclear what prompted this change in approach from the Lee family, it's certain, not impossible, that the backlash to his depiction in Quentin Tarantino's 2019 film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood may have caused the family to reconsider depictions of him or characters obviously inspired by him in media. So I think it was around that time that he was rumored to be one of the Street Fighter five characters, and then it never happened.
Isn't it fair use though? They're not calling the character Bruce Lee. His hair is a different color. His name is different. His
Yeah,
face is
but
different.
it's
He did have the Green Hornet costume in 4, which was dope as fuck. Is there anything about online gaming you would change or something from the past that you would keep?
just going over everything. I would keep like all the couch stuff, the couch
Same.
co-op. You sit there, you play with your buddy, and more complete product instead of just, oh, we'll fix it later.
I think that they designed these games with the thought that like your internet's never going to go out. Internet is constant and forever and eternal, which is just not true. People
Yeah.
have to pay bills. Shit happens. People get laid off. You have to move and maybe miss a fucking paycheck because you had to. There's a million different things can happen, and sometimes your internet gets cut off, and then you can't play with your friends. And the option to like, I would keep the couch competitive or the couch co-op
Or
for
also in
reasons like that.
general, you people still live in rural areas where there is no internet.
Yeah, I mean Elon Musk is kind of fixing that, but that shit's expensive. I know a guy. I've mentioned in an old podcast. I know a guy who he has Musk's internet, and he says that it's the greatest internet he's ever had. But if they get a really bad hurricane and it breaks the equipment, that's like $800 out of his pocket.
They get
So
insurance.
yeah, I don't know if that's a thing for Starlink. I don't know. This is just one customer's. He says it's
Yeah,
amazing. He says it's amazing, but he's terrified in case it breaks because he can't
I-
just
I'd shit
afford
my.
to. But yeah, James, is there anything that you would change? Anything you would change about online gaming, or something you would want to keep from the past that maybe isn't around anymore?
Uh, I don't know. Couch co-op's obviously the easy answer. I do agree with that.
See,
I would
everybody. It's like,
all three of us, the
like,
whole world. I I would want more accessibility for games, cross-gen. Cross-gen costs progression. That's some things that have been added in. There's a game that comes out next month that I'm super hyped for called Fantasy Life, and I will be buying it for the Switch and I will be buying it for my PC. So then I can stream it and then I can also do whatever I want wherever I want. Um, so I can progress, and then jump back over and make content for it. Because that's going to be a game that I want to get back into some form of content creation, whether it's streaming or video editing of sorts. So I'm really hyped for that. But I want the cross progression. More importantly, they finally added that in Dead by Daylight probably about a year and a half ago, and I finally got all the stuff that I had on my PlayStation 4 that I had already stopped playing for 2.5 years connected to my Steam account. And then I got the levels and everything for it too, so I got bumped up from what I previously had too. So
I think cross-gen is so important, especially with this console generation. As like I've said it, I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but the majority of what you can do with a PS5 is play PS4 games. There are a handful of PS5 games that are pretty good, but for the most part, like the majority of what's available on PS5 is already available on PS4, and to not be able to play cross-gen is just dumb. It doesn't
It
make any
is.
sense. Like we can like I have the PS4 version of Dragon Ball Fighters, which gives me free access to the PS5 version. And if I download, because why wouldn't I download the PS5 version? I have a PS5, but now I can't play with Matt, even
Yeah,
though he owns the game too.
yeah.
I was
Unless
just
That's
about
I
to
some
say, why are
bullshit.
you still flexing on Matt, telling him that he still has a PS4? Like,
Hey,
no, I just think it sucks that like it's the same game.
yeah, but the PS4 is also all reliable. Like,
the main difference is the frames per second, the reaction times and everything are going to be much smoother on the PlayStation 5 version. And because the graphics are smoother and more polished, you're going to have a better reaction time, whether it's in person or online. So that's the main difference.
mm,
That's the
Mm.
reason. That's the whole reason you couldn't do it whenever the PS5 came out, and you couldn't play Madden. It did not have the cross. gen. It had cross play, but it did not have cross gen. You couldn't play backwards or
Yeah.
forwards.
There are some games that have cross-gen.
No, there are absolutely, but I'm
Yeah.
saying those ones like that specifically, that's the reason for it. There's some games that they have it dumbed down, even if it is the PS5 version. It may look a little bit more polished, but it's not a game that would affect it to a degree. Like what Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you can play with the PS4 people and the Xbox One people, but you same thing, you can't play. You can play with the PS5 on the PC. So there, you
Wait,
can't
what
play
do
with
you
the
mean?
PS. I can play with you. I wouldn't be able to play with Matt.
Yes, you
I don't
could.
even think it's. I don't. Then they
It's
updated it. Then they updated
pretty
it
sure it's
because
it's cross everything. It's straight up. I'm pretty sure. Well, that's the thing when like it shows you what console people are playing on, but it only has like it has the PlayStation logo. It doesn't tell you if it's 4 or 5, or it'll show an Xbox controller and a PC. I'm hoping like I'm trying to grab him by the shoulders and keep shaking him until he freaking downloads it. But
No,
why oh my God, it's free too expensive for you
yes.
out there in
Also,
Cali way.
yes. Also, I just don't care about it.
We're gonna cook and eat teenagers, Matt. I understand. Running around, I want to run around like, what part of me looks good? Like that. My really off topic while James is doing his googling. My only major complaint about Texas Chainsaw Massacre is that the killers cannot talk to the victims and vice versa. Like in Friday the 13th, I would write, "You'll never get this." Like I can't do that anymore. Or like as Jason, I'd be like chopping the door down with a machete, like, I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you. Grab them and like snap them in half and drop their body, and like, I just want to talk to you. That was one of the highlights of that game. Like, I'm not gonna hurt you. This is a friendly machete. I just want to talk.
And
But
you
now you
cut off
can't
their
do that.
spleen.
Yeah, now you can't do that anymore. Like killers can talk to killers and victims can talk to victims, but no in between.
Lame.
Yeah, that shit is lame. That's my only major gripe with the game. And there's
I
no
don't.
map.
I don't know
But
how long that image has been on the internet, but I posted it in the Gameacologists. It shows the crossplay capabilities for Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
wait. So what am I looking at here?
So all the current gen can play with each other. PS4 and Xbox One can play with each other. The Series X, PS5, PC, and Steam all can play with each other, but we can't play with past gen. So if Matt
Trash.
gets it, you won't be able to play it with him unless you play the PS4
Yes.
version, which will be a completely different progressive system. You have to unlock everything all over again.
Absolute trash.
So there's no point in me downloading it anymore. All
Well,
right,
it's a
cool.
fun game you can play, but
I
and
don't
it's free.
First of all, I don't really care for those type of asymmetrical games. I only really enjoyed Friday the 13th, but now that's gone, so
You
I'll move on
barely
with my
played it.
life.
You
I
barely
know.
played Friday the
But
13th.
I
I had to
still enjoy
drag you
my
kicking and screaming into a lobby, and you'd be like, "Why's it taking so long?"
yeah, why did it take so long? Fucking assholes.
But
I'm
anyway,
there to play games. Anyways, yeah.
we got one last one. We're over the 2 hour mark, so let's bring it home.
We're at 1 hour and 54 minutes.
2 hours
Oh,
and
I
eight
guess
minutes.
I waited a little while, I guess, before you guys got here. I got 2 hours 11.
Mhm.
I forgot about that. I always forget that. So question for all you guys: do you prefer gaming today or in the past? Do you think online gaming has made things better, or do you miss the simpler times where you would just hit a rock with a stick and be entertained?
uh, I am partial to both.
Yeah, don't
I
sell stick and rock short. That shit was dope.
I'm just saying though, like what we had in the past was awesome. It was great. It was much more simpler. But I do like what the online aspect for gaming has brought. Yeah, I've met some cool people while playing Call of Duty and other online games, and it's been a fun experience. That's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, there's still assholes out there that are like gonna troll you and stuff, but that's just the nature of the internet. Well, fuck it, fuck those people. Don't need them in your life. We just troll them right back. And I've had some friendly competition and some really good back and forth matches while playing Street Fighter while being online. Or and it's been really fun.
Yeah, I think it's a blend between while I'm not the biggest fan of online gaming. I'm not condemning it. I'm not saying people who would play online are dumb. It's just not particularly something I'm super into with a few exceptions. Um and sometimes every once in a while I'll re-download Fortnite. It's rare, but I do it just to be social.
Yeah.
But
It,
I think I wouldn't say I prefer. I mean, I have a wall of retro games right behind me that no one can see but you guys. But there is a lot of fun to be had with modern gaming that's not online. I don't think it's all completely, skewed to again, I'm stoked about Silent Hill F and the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Those are two games coming out whenever the fuck they come out that I really want to get my hands on that are not online games, as far as
right.
I know.
But I was also going to say the thing with another thing I appreciate about gaming online, it helps you stay connected with your core friends. Like,
Huh.
we're all in different states. Yeah, we all could jump on and play a game together.
Well, one of us has a PS4.
Oh, I mean, yeah, in the general sense, if everybody had all the same shit, like, hey, let's fucking play Smash Bros. Or something, we all could do that.
Yeah, we could, I suppose. You guys don't
Well,
play your Switches no more.
I
Well,
will be next month.
I still play my Switch, but
Why next month? Is that the game you're
Fantasy
talking about
Life.
comes out on? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, go ahead, Matt. I didn't mean
I,
to interrupt you.
I still play my Switch. I just haven't paid for the online subscription because I'm lazy.
Yeah, because I just beat 2.5 Metroids on
So
it.
I won't appear online until I pay for the online subscription to use it. So, but I still play my Switch.
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
playing like online games, and I'm like, why haven't I beaten Super Metroid yet? And like, people are streaming Call of Duty and doing stuff. I'm sitting here alone playing Super Metroid, having the time of my fucking life, by the way. Like, it's
I'm
so much
glad.
fun.
Good for you. What about you, James?
I online games. I will always prefer anything with online games. So today's my answer. Um, I would rather not have to drive almost 9 hours to go play a game with my brother and then turn right back around. Uh, I'm fine with the couch co-op. I love experience of the game with each other. Like whenever I went out there around the Christmas time, we played Super Mario RPG and beat the crap out of it in like 24, 48 hours.
We 100%ed it,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we
Well
did
that
everything.
yeah, I wanted to beat like all the little mini bosses and stuff like that. Just like I didn't progress into the game until we already beat like the Kung Fu Master 4 times. Like
Yeah,
that's,
we found every hidden treasure block thing. Like
yeah.
we did everything in that game has to offer.
And like the 48 hours. Like
Bro.
it was great. It was nostalgia and everything. So the couch co-op is still a wonderful feature. It needs to have, well, so if you didn't know, Steam on the PC has the ability to play single player games. Like I booted up on mine and it has like a share play feature, kind of like the PlayStation had, where you can take control of my game. So we can still have two controllers plugged in on the computer, and I could just be like, okay, now John, it's your turn. Go ahead and play through the game. So it does remove that feature having online, so we can play in a Zoom call like we're doing right now and experience the same thing, but I can't like hit you until you give me the controller back. Like,
Yeah, that'd be funny. Like if you don't let me play, we start a Zoom meeting with mom and be like, Mom! He won't let me fucking play. Like, y'all are in your 30s, leave me the fuck alone. Well, yeah, I think unless anybody has anything else to add, I think
I
that'll
got
about
one thing.
wrap it up.
I
What's
got
that?
one thing. And it's just what? Uh,
Fantastic. And
hey,
that's
hey,
fine.
hey, fuck you. Anyways, I came up with a nice, nifty list. I want you guys
Matt,
to blind rank it one through
Matt,
five. Shut up. I
that's
worked.
for filler. That's for filler. We've been talking for 2 hours. That's for when like we need to pad out the end of it. I know you're proud of it, and I'm sorry. Please don't look at me like that. But
We're gonna do this. It's
we
gonna
have
take a
a
quick
full
minute.
we
It's gonna
have a
take a
full
quick minute. It's
episode.
gonna take a quick minute.
Oh, God damn it.
It's gonna take a quick minute. Don't be a bitch.
I'm going to be a bitch, but okay.
All right. So blind rank these.
James, you have the right to not consent.
Consent, James.
Consent.
Also, if someone wants to open up a quick tab to keep track
No.
of everyone's
No.
list,
I'm already doing it.
Nope. Fuck.
awesome. Thanks, James.
God damn
It's
it.
it's already done.
All right. So I want you
It's like
guys
I
to.
listen to the show and already know this is existing.
I want you guys. All right. So blind rank these five video game consoles.
1 through
Consoles.
5, one being the best. Consoles?
Yeah,
Consoles.
that's. I know that was a
Okay.
twist.
Okay. Okay. Let's do it.
So he
All
doesn't
right.
have all of them. He only has five. So
Yes.
if the
Five.
last one's a fucking Atari, we're fucked. Like,
Oh yeah, he likes to do that. He saves the
yeah,
absolute worst
but
for
he
last
did it
instead of the
last time.
best.
He did it
Oh
last.
yeah. You,
So he's
I
probably
am
going to
up
switch
to
it up.
something.
He's going to switch it
Yeah.
up this time and
We're
save the
gonna
best for
find
last.
out. Let's do this. All right. First one off the list. The GameCube.
Two. I
I
think
was
it's a
going to say,
pretty
yeah,
solid console.
I'd give it a solid 2. Hot take. I like the GameCube better than the PS2. PS2 has, DVD player, CD player, all that stuff, but nowadays that shit doesn't matter.
I
I
would
would
say
say the
PS2
GameCube.
had better games, but the GameCube had a better library. Like you know what I mean? Like
Doesn't make any fucking
the
sense.
the overall quality of the game was better on the
Yeah.
PS2, while the GameCube had a bigger library of successful games.
Right. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Second
It
game.
doesn't make any fucking sense.
The second game. The Atari 2600.
All right, I'll put that on five for you, John.
Yeah, no
Uh,
disrespect, but that's at the bottom.
Okay. Next game. Yeah, is it a five for
I'm
you as
glad
well,
that wasn't
James?
the last one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sega Dreamcast.
I wouldn't even put that on the list at all. I guess I'll give it 4.
So four.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Jet Set Radio was okay for the time, but other than that, I don't give a shit about Sonic 06 or whatever it was.
All right. All right. Are you guys ready for the next one?
Well, I
Uh-huh.
mean, we have nothing else to do.
Look at
Okay.
his bullshit smile. He's up to something. This
The
isn't like
Commodore
We only
64.
have 1 and 3 left, John. So
Yeah.
Commodore
So
64.
yes.
I mean, I guess if I have to do it out of these, I would put that at number 3
yeah, he's
because
fucking us.
I would like to fuck around with some of the text-based adventure games, and there was some interesting. Now I can't say I would like have a Commodore 64 hooked up all the time, but I would definitely like right now if I had to choose between Atari and Commodore, I would like to fuck around with a Commodore for a while. So yeah, I'll put that on at 3.
It's a tough between 3 and 4 for Dreamcast and Commodore.
All
All right,
right.
let's see
I'd
what
be
our
more
number
interested in
one
a Commodore
selection
than
is,
a
Matt.
Dreamcast, Super
The
Nintendo.
the PS2 is the last game. The last console.
You fucked us. We had this whole conversation about the GameCube and the PS2. He probably changed that answer. It wasn't originally
No, that was. This is how the list has been.
I was expecting the last one to be the Super Nintendo, and I was going to put that as number 1.
there. Yeah, I would have done that too.
I was gonna put Super Nintendo. Like, no, let's put PS2 instead.
John and I grew up with the same consoles for the most part, so I feel like our ideas are very similar.
I would swap PS2 and GameCube on my
Yeah,
list.
that's what we would
Yeah,
have done.
but
Yeah.
you,
But
you
you
can't.
can't.
You
Eh.
can't.
Yeah. I also would have swapped Commodore and Dreamcast.
Yeah. See,
So
I'm
now
always
that
going to be up. I'm always going to be up to something with these blind rankings.
that's why I continue to not give a shit.
You just got to figure it out. That's part of the fun.
No, because
Yes.
you're tricking us. There's
On
nothing to
next week's
figure out.
episode, on
Yeah,
next week's
I'm.
episode, he's ranking the Justice League characters.
I mean, I my thing is I trick people. John, you like to gaslight people, so
I like to gaslight my friends.
uh,
It's different. It's cute when I do it. But anyway, that'll be about it for this episode of the Game Ecologist. I think we're done. Thank you again, James, for being here.
Yeah.
Matt has to get to his doctor's appointment for his, well,
I don't have a doctor's appointment for anything.
But yeah,
It's not curable. Sorry.
yeah. Be excellent to each other, and everybody either say bye or some stupid catchphrase at the end.
Half gay.
Uh, anyways, bye everybody.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said bye.
That's funny. Took me a second.